Sky's Real Sport Bar TV.
It doesn't matter if you do it in a man cave, in your van, on your couch, with a painted face. Whatever it is, just get behind your team.
Newcastle.
Go the Knights.
Go Para.
With your favourite cold one in your hand. Our passion, our game, our beer. Tui's new, for the love of footy.
Australia's leading sports organisations have made a pledge to tackle youth binge drinking.
Now when you're watching your favourite sports, like football,
swimming, basketball,
netball
and athletics,
you'll see this logo.
It's all about coming together to have a positive influence on our drinking culture.
We're strong enough to say enough.
And you can be too.
Back your judgment.
Stand up for what you believe in.
Be the influence.
Well, welcome to Macquarie and Lyle Peacock Field here for what should be a terrific game in round 3, if you can believe it, of the real NRL. Macquarie versus Kurri here on a relatively warm winter afternoon. And this is a make-up game which has been attempted to be played twice. This is the third crack at it, and we're finally going to get a game, Kurri and Macquarie. And we might go through as the Macquarie side comes out onto the field. Matthew Peterson's with me. He might take you through the team.
Yeah, the Macquarie team for today. Number 1, Nathan Cantor. Number 2, Matt Hay. 3, Teeson Fa'aili. Number 4, Royce Jeffrey. 5 is Mitch Manson. The halves, Andrew Subner and Mick Moran. The props, Matt Jeffrey and Adam Swadling. The hooker is Chris Hyde. Back row of Josh Schmeidel, Simon Allen, Blake Gallen. And the bench, Blake Chaffee, Tim Bovis, 16 Randall Briggs, and 17 Khan Junki.
Yeah, thank you. And the Kurri side are about to come out. They line up as follows. The fullbacks, Bradley Manton. On the wings, Kyle Smith and Lachlan Hill. The centres, Tim Bennett and Damien Walters. The halves, Ryan Walker's at 5'8". Terence CUC is playing halfback today, the first time he hasn't played hooker this season. Mick Campton starts in the front row with Brock Gilmore. The hooker is Ben Wyborn. The second row is Jay Stevens and Daniel Abraham, and the lock is Mitch Cullen. On the bench, 15 Brock Harmer, 16 Luke Mercer, 17 Tyger Petherbridge, and 20 the bumper Justin Peterkin. Matthew, as the Kurri side are about to come out, who do you fancy today and why?
Well, there's not much form to go behind either side. Obviously, as we've mentioned before, the draw for this season is quite Swiss cheese. There's a lot of breaks. There's obviously been a lot of wet weather. It hasn't been really any form, but last time I saw Macquarie play, they were absolutely terrific, which was against Cessnock up in Cessnock. But both these sides, I'm aware, lost their last round. So, look, it's really, really hard to pick, I think. As it's been said multiple times, the competition is just so hard and so difficult to pick, just because I think the level, the best and the worst team, there's really not much to them. But if I had to lean, I'd probably lean towards Macquarie. Yeah,
you'd have to think so at home, but they had a loss here 2 weeks ago against Maitland. They lost 42-40 as Kurri are on their way out. There's a few here for Kurri today, making a bit of racket. They had a loss 2 weeks ago in the derby against Cessnock, 26-24. They looked at various times throughout that game like they were going to win it. But as they come out onto the field, you would have to think that if they don't win today, Kurri, they'll be halfway through the season and on only 2 points, which really, it's not quite book your holidays for September, but it's getting that way. And if Macquarie were to win today, they'd be up to 6 points, they'd be in the 5, and Kurri would be 2 wins adrift. So it's a very important game indeed as we get the traditional now, I think it's fair to say, 7 rounds into the season, the traditional face-off. I don't really know where this has come from. It's relatively new to me. It's a very English Premier League sort of thing. We get the players facing off and shaking hands, and a bit like the under-8s, Matthew.
Yeah, it's certainly got a certain European feel to it, the European Soccer League's feel. But look, you've mentioned before that this game's they've attempted to play it twice. 2 times they've failed, but they certainly won't miss it today. It's an absolutely terrific day for rugby league. It's sunny. It's not too hot. It's not too cold. But I think once this sun sets, it might get a bit chilly. But
beware the 4 o'clock chill, Matthew.
Yep. But
that's
good day
a lesson for
footy.
life. Yeah, a good day indeed. As we're ready for kick-off here. Ryan Walker, the number 6, has got the ball on the tee, and we're about ready. A decent crowd in. They don't usually play on a Sunday here, but away we go. Macquarie versus Kurri, a game both sides desperately need to win. And they're going to be bringing the ball back through the forwards here, Macquarie. Despite all the weather we've had, the field looks in relatively good order. A couple of extraordinary games in reserve grade. a couple of extraordinary games in the earlier grades, reserve grade. Kurri at one stage had 11 on the field with 2 players sin-binned, and they still nearly jagged the game and only came within 2 points towards the end of the game. So it's very well contested. Both of these sides have got a bit of fire about them. As we go to the right here, and it's Adam Swaddling with the ball up to the 40-metre line. In this first set, Blake Gallen's lining up again to the left, but they go right, and Hyde's going to jam this on the boot. Down towards Bradley Manton. And he'll bring it back for Kurri. They'll start from pretty decent field position.
The strength of Macquarie, a lot of their games is won off the back of their big forward pack. Obviously missing Danny Vaughan the past couple of weeks, but Blake Gallen and Simon Allen are 2 terrific players. So I think that's where Macquarie are going to look to dominate. I think probably try and win the game.
Yeah, I think that's about right. As here's Brock Gilmore, and they're heading towards the halfway line already here, Kurri. Both relatively big sets of forwards. Now here's Mick Campton, and he's got a bit of a step at the line. And they're lining up to the right here with CUCU. Playing at halfback today. He has played there a bit in first grade. He played there a bit for Cessnock and played there a bit for Maitland, but his preferred position's hooker. It'll be interesting to see how he goes. As now it's Ryan Walker who's going to jam this on the boot. It's got a bit of height on it as well. And Cantor's got a job to do, but he does it well. Or at least he would have done if it was him. It was Mitch Manson under that. And he's tackled over there on the 20. And they'll have to work the ball back here with Royce Jeffrey. Very big for a centre out there. Can do a bit of damage. And now it's Swaddling again. This is his second run of the game. Up to the 40. And they're looking both ways. They've got plenty of runners keen for the ball. Here's Blake Gallen, who's the, you'd have to say, the best lock-playing Gallen in New South Wales at the moment. Paul's out injured again.
Well, he's been for most of the year. Paul Gallen's been out for most of the year, but he's a terrific player, Blake Gallen. He's got a bit of skill, but obviously a very big body and can really bend the line back. Yeah, as there's a bit of scuffle in there. That was Brock Gilmore involved with that bit of an incident there with Josh Schmiedel, but nothing comes of it. And Lachlan Hill's going to bring the ball back for Kurri. He's met pretty strongly too. Yeah, good tackle and good kick and chase there from Sumner, who's the left boot, pretty dangerous left boot. So, look, again, he'll be another danger player, I think, today for Macquarie. Yeah, you're absolutely right. That game that Macquarie played against Cessnock a few weeks ago, which we did for Bar TV, which was the live stream that day, they were, Sumner was the man. He steered them around the park all day and did a very good job of it, and for my money was man of the match. So if they're going to have a win today, it'll be the same sort of story you would imagine, as they're going to try left here, and they go out, and now they're off down the wing, and it's Kyle Smith with the ball. He's past one, and he's got a bit of work to do, and he eventually gets taken down, and a good tackle from Mitch Manson, but they're still set up to the left, and that looks like the 19's out there on the field. And they're going to go to the right here with CUCU. He'll kick back towards the corner flag, and Moran's going to have to play at this as he is. It'll be a dropout. Well played, Terrence CUCU. It threatened to get a little bit scrappy there for Kurri, but a bit of a cool head, jammed it into the corner and just timed it right for Moran to have to play. Yeah, fantastic kick there from CSU, who's been involved. Obviously, he said he hasn't played halfback this year, but certainly has, I think, the calibre and the quality to fill in there where he can. So I think, again, they won't lose too much today, Kurri, with him at halfback. Yeah, I think that's right. So Macquarie under a bit of pressure early here. And they'll jam the ball away. And Gilmore's going to take this himself and cart it forward. Here he comes. Good challenge there. And Chris Hyde, he was brave and stood up to the tackle there. They're looking left here. And it's Walker, back inside to the 15 on the field there, Brock Harmer. He's on early. And now they're looking right, and that looked like a forward pass for my money, but Brock Gilmore's got it again, and he's rolling over the 10. They're set up to the left, and they're set up to the right here. And they go to the left. Here's Cullen, and Cullen goes out the back to Harmer again, throws a pass to nobody. And over there on the left-hand side is Matt Hay, Kyle Smith, who falls on it. Walker, Cullen. Cullen's going to have to go himself here. And it's just not, there's a bit of ball on the ground so far in this set for Kurri. It hasn't quite come together for them. Walker's behind the ruck looking for action. Here's CUCU. And he plays out the back. And that looks like Manton. And he's got it away out there to Lachlan Hill, who's gone over the sideline. He's gone over the sideline. Good defence out there from Macquarie. Yeah, looked quite promising there from Kurri. He's had the numbers on that right hand side, but just couldn't get that last pass to really stick properly. And obviously going over his head. He had to stand up a bit tall, but good defence, good covering defence there from Macquarie.
So they'll start again. And that looks like the 8 there. Matt Jeffrey takes it forward. And out the back they go. They're going to attack early here with Sumner out to Moran. And Moran's bundled up. Good tackle there, Ryan Walker. It needed to be. And now they're looking right. And bringing it forward, Schmiedel. Plenty of chat from Favielli here. He sets up a run there from the other winger there, Matt Hay. And a penalty to Macquarie. The referee, incidentally, today is Tom Taylor. And he's given the penalty there to Kurri. Chris Hyde's going to jam it into touch.
Yeah, both sides just really feeling themselves out this opening 5 or 6 minutes of the game. No one really having a great attacking chance. Probably Kurri in that last set, but never really looked that threatening. But this is, I guess, Macquarie's first venture down into Kurri territory. So let's see, look at, I guess, Sumner and Moran to try and spark something.
Yeah, they look keen to get involved already this in the game. Swaddling it is with the ball now. And they're looking left. And Hyde, he's running the show. Good short pass there to Gallen. But he was taken strongly by the defence. What can they come up with here? Very slow out of the tackle. Now they finally go left. Here's Sumner. Long ball out to the wing. It's taken well out there by Manson. He's past one, but he'll be held up well. Held up very well. What have they got out the back here? They go short. It goes to ground, and Kurri have fallen on it. Jay Stevens it was. And so it's up to Kurri to bring it away. And they've lost it. Dear, oh dear. Well, coach killer.
Yeah, it was a bit too clever, I think, there from Macquarie. Sort of gone to go down to the short side and flicked it back into the runner, but obviously couldn't handle it. And then, again, that's just a coach killer. You get a reprieve from the opposition on your defensive line and obviously spill it on the first tackle. So, yeah, I don't think the Kurri coach will be too impressed with that.
No, you wouldn't imagine. Well, they've got the ball back here. Now, I wonder how they've worked that out.
News to me.
Looked like a knock on to me, but anyway, maybe there was a strip that went forward. Anyhow,
Gus Gould and his interpretations.
Yeah,
this
well,
is just another,
Yeah, there's a bit of Michael Morgan about it, yes. You're absolutely right. So it's up to Kurri. And there's a bit of rubbish in there again in the tackle, and it's going to be a penalty to Kurri. So both sides have had a penalty now. And there's just a little bit of niggle in the tackle.
A little bit, but there usually is when sides come here to Macquarie. They're certainly, I don't think, one of the favourite places of opposition sides to come and play at Lyle Peacock Oval.
No,
even on a very nice day like today, I think it's a ground that sides really dislike coming to. But in saying that, the Kurri support here today is I would almost say 50-50. There's a big contingent of them.
Yeah, I reckon that's about right. Judging from the grandstand, it's pretty much split down the middle as they come back inside. Here's Campton. You'd have to say the Macquarie fans have got the worst of it, though, because they're a big chance of getting their view blocked out by the canteen up the other end of the ground. As here's Walker, and goes a short ball. It's a beauty to Brock Harmer, and he looked for the pass and couldn't get it away. What have they got to the left? It's played out the back. They'll go themselves with Bennett, and he's turned around and brought back Tim Bennett. Wyborn's in at dummy half. He's looking left and looking right. Here's CU. What can he do? Turns it inside to Cullen. Cullen goes himself. He might get there. He has. Mitch Cullen. Well, he's got a bit of spark about him every week, doesn't he? And that was pretty simple. He ran the line, beat a couple of tacklers and got the ball down, and Kurri score first.
Yeah, a bit too easy there for Kurri, but I thought they were over there. That semi-break they had there, but absolutely terrific tackle from Mitch Manson there on the bigger Kurri player, but yeah, a bit too easy there for the Kurri boys.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It was a bit, the defence was like crepe paper there. Simple turn inside and he strode straight through. Now he's going to do everything here. Cullen, he's going to kick for goal. I've never seen him kick for goal before, but there you go. I'm sure there's nothing the man can't do.
Oh,
he may have driven the bus to the ground, I don't know, but he's lining this up. He's got all the usual goal kicker moves.
He looks the
steps,
part.
yeah, a few steps back, a few steps to the left.
I've never seen that before. The look behind to the ref.
Yeah,
Did
good
that
enough.
pretty easy.
Good enough.
Pretty easy.
Well, they've only got to go over, haven't they? And so Kurri have got the lead after 10 minutes here. 10.5 minutes gone. Kurri 6, Macquarie blot. And that's the start they needed. They're a side that relies on confidence. They can go on runs, score a lot of points all at once, and then concede a lot all at once. So starting like that will be very pleasing to Phil Williams, the coach. Away we go again. Sumner sends this one into the sky for Ryan Walker, who I notice has been very heavily involved, probably more so than he was against Cessnock. Perhaps with CUCU playing halfback, Walker's got a few more playmaking responsibilities. Now they go at the back. Here's Campton. He's beat one. That's a good fierce run. He puts in every week, Mick Campton. And they look right against CUCU. And they're making decent enough ground here, Kurri, rolling forward. And CUCU again out to Cullen. What can he do this time? Every time he gets the ball, Mitch Cullen, something happens. You can be sure of that. Out the back it comes. And it's going to be Wyborn who's going to kick it himself here and plug this one downfield. And Manson will do the chasing. And he's going to throw it. Look out. And away goes Cantor. Good tackle down low from Lachlan Hill. Decent set after points, you'd have to say, from Kurri.
Yeah, pretty perfect set. Down, starting from the 30 line, but no mistake. I think that's the big thing from getting through after scoring that first try.
Yeah, that's right. They put 24 unanswered points on against Cessnock 2 weeks ago and still lost the game. As here's Moran, and he spilled it there, Josh Schmiedel. He's put the ball down. Decent field position, good start for Kurri here for a new set. And they're bringing it away, and you don't see that very often, but Brock Gilmore there picked it up at dummy half. You don't see props running the ball at a dummy half very often.
Not much, but I tell you what I saw the other night, and that was a mouse trap.
Where was the mouse trap?
I think the game on Friday night.
Oh, fantastic.
Hopefully we see 1 or 2 mouse traps today, because
that would be that. If they're concerned about crowd numbers at these games, that's the way to bring them back. Get the mousetrap happening. Here's Mick Campton. And that's a good run. He's got it away. Here's Cullen. Out the back to CUCU. And he's looking to swing it back to the other side of the field. And Walker spots a gap. And he spots more than a gap. He's strode through to the 20. And they're off to the right here. CUCU again. He's looking for the pass. He goes short there to Wyborn. Pardon me, it's Stevens who scores out wide. Jay Stevens busts through the gap and scores. And, well, points on top of points. Kurri lead at 10-0.
Yeah, just too big and too strong. Good short ball there from CUCU. But Macquarie just look a bit out of the game. They don't seem to be really not the same sort of aggression and enthusiasm as Kurri at the moment. But, yeah, too big and too strong there from Stevens. But fantastic little short ball from CUCU.
Yeah, certainly showed a bit of class there, CUCU. I think it wouldn't matter where you played him. He's a very classy rugby league player and just held that up and held it up and gave Stevens the maximum time to barge onto it and steam past a couple to score. 10-0 to Kurri. 14 minutes gone here. And Cullen, having impressed with his first effort from near the post, gets a more difficult assignment this time. About 10 in from touch. If that. Your money on him here?
Oh, look, I don't know. Yeah, I'm
Come on, don't sit on the fence.
I'm going to say no.
God, I hope he kicks it now.
He's looking into the sun. You got to factor these sorts of things in.
Yeah, that's
true. He looks
true.
the part, though. He very much looks the part. He may have never done it before, but he looks the part.
That's the important thing. Let's see what he's got here. He struck it nicely enough. It's coming around. Oh, never in doubt. Good. Never in doubt. What a beautiful kick. So Cullen just drains the conversion, and it's 12-0 to Kurri. Well, this is the dream start here. 15 minutes, 12 points.
I think if I was the Macquarie coach, I'd be really just trying to get these guys into the game at the moment. They just seem a bit lackadaisy. They're dropping off a lot of tackles, and also I think 6 and just try and make Kurri with their level of enthusiasm, I think.
Yeah, that's right. A few missed tackles close to the line. You can see the score rack up pretty quickly. As here's Mick Campton, and Campton and Gilmore, I reckon, have taken the ball up every time Kurri have had a set. Now there's a bit of stench. What's going on here? Now I reckon that's Royce Jeffrey possibly on the bottom of that. It is. And he's got up throwing at least a half a couple. And a couple of little short half ones there. What's the referee going to do? He's given a knock on against Kurri here, and he's going to say... Oh, no, he's not. He's going to say it was a penalty.
I thought he was doing the monster mash. Those arm moves.
Could have been anything. You do see some strange signals from referees these days.
Oh, again, it's outrageous. It's wild, some of the things that you see on the football field. But I agree, mostly coming from some of these ref signals. So it's
looked
a
like
whole
he had
new language.
It looked like the sort of dance you'd do if you were listening to, say...
Joe Joseph and the Falcons.
Possibly, yeah. I was going to say Chuck Berry, but yeah, that's just as good.
A bit of a meeting.
So Taylor's invited CUCU in Chambers here. What's happened? Hang on, he's given the penalty the other way.
There you go.
Well, this is all very strange. I think they're going to say that the penalty was for the drama in the tackle, and that Royce Jeffrey was the wronged party there. So
certainly gives Macquarie a chance here.
Does it ever?
Really need to capitalise on a bit of a fortuitous call, I think.
Yeah, from defending 80 metres from the line, they've now got a chance. Here's Schmiedel, and he's past 1, he's past 2. That's a good run. As they wheel him around and wheel him back. Looked like a bit of a ruck and maul there, Rugby World Cup style. Now out the back to Gallen and Sumner, and he's going to look for the big 12 out there, Simon Allen. And he's held pretty nicely. What can they come up with here? Here's Hyde, out the back to Sumner. Sumner away to Moran. Moran looks for a long ball, ends up running it himself. And he threw about 90,000 dummies there before he was eventually tackled 5 metres behind where he picked it up. Now they go the short side with Manson. Good ball out there to Hay. He's not far away. He's over. What a good challenge that was. He had 2 up against him, and he wrestled and wrestled and got the ball to the ground. And Macquarie have hit back. It's 12-4.
Yeah, he was surrounded by Kurri defenders there, and I thought he'd be lucky to stay in actually the field of play, but he just managed to wiggle free, and fantastic ball control, but exactly what Macquarie needed.
Yeah, absolutely. They had the wobbles there at 12-0, but a slightly fortuitous penalty while they were defending from the kickoff. They get the ball back, and 2 tackles later score out wide. On such things, the game's turn. So we're going to get Thiessen Favielli here to take the kick at goal. Similar position to that which Cullen faced up the other end of the ground. Let's see if you can pick apart his style, Matthew, whether you like it as much as Cullen's.
He's certainly gone a long way back with it.
Yeah, he has. Yeah, about 25 out. There you go. Just the 2 steps back. One. Whoa, hello. This is like that looked
We've
like
just seen the monster mash, and now we're seeing a bit of square dancing.
Yeah, you know, don't break my heart.
Fantastic kick.
This is a spectacle. This is a clinic of goal kicking today. Thiessen Favielli lands one from the sideline after doing. It looked like it reminded me of a knight in chess. You know how they can move in a bit of an L shape. It was a bit of that sort of.
Very scientific though. It was very cold. It was very calculated. He knew how far he needed to go, and I quite like that.
Of course, we had the zip man in rugby league. He might be the zigzag man. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so.
So Kurri, against all expectations, find themselves kicking off. And this one's on the way out on the full. Yep. Well, talk about momentum shifts and coach killers. There's one rolled into one there. Ryan Walker. He's kicked it to the Seagulls, and Macquarie can start again. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. As they always say, you've got a 60-metre target to aim at. You'd think it would be pretty hard to miss.
Well, you would think so, but again, it's probably why most of us don't play first grade rugby league in Newcastle. But yeah, you're right, coach killer. Absolute coach killer.
A fellow driving a ute inside the ground. But Toronto's marvellous because one of those grounds that you can drive your car in, and a bloke nearly got a ball in the back of his ute, much like one of those sort of Isuzu promotions or something.
What's the legality behind taking the ball out?
I'm not sure. I assume if it's been kicked to you, you haven't got much choice, do you? Here's Hyde, and he's going to go right here, is he? Yes, he does. Out the back to Moran. They're stewing up again here. Here's Manson, and he got absolutely belted. And now there's a scurry on for the ball. Manson gets back to recover, but he'll be a bit worse for wear after that shot.
I think there should have been 6 more, and the
there
refs
is.
call it.
If he didn't call it, there were about 20 people up in the grandstand who were waving the fist around. As Hyde's in at dummy half. What can they come up with here? Here's Schmiedel, and he'll run. And he's always hard to stop. He's looking for the pass. They're lined up left here. Moran's very, very deep. But they go flat to Gallen instead. Now out to Sumner. He held it up a little bit. It's Jeffrey. Jeffrey going himself. He's tackled well over there. The defence out wide on that side of the ground's been decent from Kurri. Now there's a good charge. That's it's Hill, or Allen, pardon me. Hill, as he likes to be called. They go down the other side. Here's Sumner. Jeffrey's left that one behind. Kurri are going to come up with it again. They've got away with it. Jeffrey's had a few cracks out there in the left centre position and can't find a way past them.
Yeah, with Macquarie, the forwards certainly willing to show a bit of ball playing. Gallen there threw quite a nice pass to Sumner, and Schmiedel did the big old Aaron Woods, as I'm calling out. Big dummy and charged through the line.
The Aaron Woods. Yeah, fair enough.
It's certainly something you're seeing more and more, I think, in the NRL, and it's obviously coming back towards the lower grades, and that's your forwards acting as almost second and third halves, just being able to throw that ball out to the backs. And I think Blake Gallen is probably one of the best guys in the comp for that ball playing role as a big forward.
Well, of course, it all started with Canterbury, didn't it, when they had Cassiano and Graham and all these guys throwing passes out the back and being able to move the ball. And there's nothing more dangerous than a forward who can pass the ball, because they attract the defenders and then get the ball away. You have to be outnumbered out wide. But it's something which is coming in, as you say, here in Newcastle as well. Now, Ryan Walker felt wronged there as he got up, appealed to the referee and got nothing for it. But Manson takes this on the full. Now, he's playing at fullback in defence, and he's just nearly got his head taken off by Terence CU.
Yeah, there wasn't much issue with interpretation. That was clearly a head-high tackle.
There was nearly issue with decapitation, never mind interpretation. Dear, oh dear. He did duck into it a little bit, to be fair, but a bit wild and woolly. So another penalty for Macquarie, and they're getting a bit of help here, getting helped up the field. It wasn't the biggest kick for touch, but it didn't need to be. They'll start from the halfway. Chris Hyde and Allen. And they're going straight up the middle here. That's the 14 on the field, Blake Chaffee. And he's got it centre field. That's looks like the first substitute for Macquarie, 17 minutes into the game. Now, here's a very heavy hit on Adam Swaddling. He got absolutely clouted, I think, by his opposite number. Yeah, Brock Gilmore it was. And the attack's lining up here again. Moran's the man to go to. Out the back, it's Manton, or Cantor. In goes Hay. Gets it away to Favielli. Now Moran again. And he dribbles it in, looking for the post pad. It comes off the post pad, but they've got it through Manton, and he's going to get away. A kick early in the count.
Maybe not.
Oh, hello. Good defence, but he was just strong enough to stay in the field of play. But Moran went the early kick, found the post pad as he was aiming for, but couldn't get anything more for it. And now there's a penalty to Kurri. The penalties are starting to add up here.
And the crowd's starting to get into the game. Very, very quiet and subdued first 20 minutes, but you can hear the crowd really starting to get into it. A few penalties going here and there and a few mistakes. But interesting to note, the Macquarie lineup, it looks as though Manson and I think the one are switching between fullback and on the left wing position.
Yeah, that's right. So that looks like Cantor's in at fullback at the moment, but fielding most of the kicks has been the 5, Mitch Manson. Yeah, you're right. You mentioned about the noise here. Some of the best voices in the real NRL occupy this grandstand. So if this is a close game with 20 minutes to go, you'll be hearing plenty of noise. And there's another chance of a penalty here, but they play on, and Wyborn snipes down the short side. There's Walker, and he's looking for the 2 there, Kyle Smith, who's passed one there. Good run. 25 out. What have they got here, Kurri? 12-6 in front with 15 minutes to go in the first half. Abraham, away to CU. He goes himself. And a good tackle. Ended up being one-on-one from Sumner, who's taken the ball. The referee's going to tell you that it wasn't one-on-one and give Kurri the penalty.
Yeah, the number 2 out there, Kyle Smith, it looks like he's lining up in the centres at the moment, but he's had a few really strong runs, and that last run was I think, a good example of it. But early in the game had a few strong runs as well.
Well, CUC's kicked that about 5 metres into touch. It's bounced off one of the floodlight posts, and now there's 2 balls on the field. And this always causes havoc. Sometimes you see 2 come on and then 2 go off, and then you end up with nothing on the field. And anyhow, here's Jay Stevens, and he's hard to stop close to the line. Good leg speed he has. And they're only a metre out. What can they do here? CUC, they're very deep here, Kurri. This is like the 80s. Might see the wall out the back. That looked forward to me. And it's Brock Gilmore, I think, who goes down under the tackle. And they're set up to the right again. They've got Walker behind them on the left. It's going to be CUCU on the right. Out the back, good ball. The 14 there is Harmer. And now it goes down under the tackle on the right-hand side. And they go right out the back to Cullen. And now CUCU. Inside ball to Abraham. He'll be hard to stop. He'll be very hard to stop. He goes down a metre out. They're throwing every one of their big forwards at them here. And now the kick from Wyborn deflects off legs and needs a foot over the touchline because Stevens was lurking with intent there.
Yeah, a couple of real big runs from there from the Kurri forwards. Not really looking to move the ball a lot. Very deep in attack as well, as you said. But yeah, really trying, I think, bust through the line, which they've done on a few occasions to score. But I think Stevens is looking very likely every time he touches the ball out there on the right.
Yeah, that's right. They do have this tactic, Kurri. They basically play 4 halfbacks because they've got both their halves, but then Cullen plays like a half and so does the hooker. Today it's Ben Wyborn, and previously in the season it was CUC. Now there's a high tackle, a bit of a lazy arm around the head of Brock Gilmore, who hasn't come off yet in the game. 28 minutes on the field in the front row. Yeah,
a bit lazy there from Swadling. Just, I don't know, a bit of an arm over the shoulder.
Yeah.
Looked okay from up here, but
they always
otherwise.
do. They always look all right when it's not the arm going across the side of your head. As the kick for touch.
Oh, off a bin lid there.
Was it off a bin lid? Oh, I thought it was off someone's window. I never understand why people park inside rugby league grounds. I know it's nice to sit in your car and watch the game, but surely to heavens, your insurance company's got to be a bit nervous, don't they?
Oh, maybe. I don't know. How much damage can a football do?
Well, we may see later in the game. Here's Cullen. He can do a bit of damage, but he spilled it. See, I put the Johnny Mocker on him. And the referee says knock on.
Oh, no,
he's given a penalty. So he's suggesting it was stripped. Yeah, so Cullen trots back. His blush is saved. And Abraham's going to take it up.
Try scorer, goal kicker, actor, perhaps?
Yeah, look, maybe. I wouldn't want to level that accusation without a replay. But it looked like he spilled it. Now here's Harmer. And he's just standing, just palming them off. Good charge. Wyborn's lining them up again. Walker to the right. Here is Walker. And he's looking deep here, but he ends up going himself, and he may regret that decision because he got thumped and then threw a bit of a hospital pass, and it all broke down. And Macquarie have the ball. 11 and a half minutes gone here. 12-6, Kurri lead it. So Josh Schmiedel with the ball. I can't help but do that German pronunciation. It just every time I try and say Schmiedel, that's just what comes out. Now here's Thiessen Favielli, the other goal kicker extraordinaire here. And Hyde's going off down the short side. And the 11 there, that might be Schmiedel again. I think it is. He's getting through a bit of work, but I know that because I've had to...
That German efficiency.
I've had to purse my lips and say it a few times. Here's Gallen, and Schmiedel's just come from the field. Replaced by the 15, Isaac Briggs. Now here's Hyde jamming it down the very narrow short side. And Manton's going to pick this up and come back at them. He hasn't had too much to do today, Manton, which probably indicates that Macquarie haven't got to their kick as often as they'd like.
No, I think that's a fair call. There's been a lot of errors from Macquarie, and I think when they've really come to the end of their sets, it's been at that end.
Oh, no dummy half.
Oh,
Jeffrey's
wow.
going to pick this up and score. Dear, oh dear. Will he get the ball down? He has, I think. Oh, what have we got? Referee's going to call for some assistance, I think, here. No dummy half. They were getting belted. They were getting swatted every time they picked the ball up. And then finally it all broke down and there was no dummy half. Jeffrey was quick enough to pick it up, but they're going to say held up.
Yeah, it would have been the most bizarre try of the year. Sands dummy half and just almost scooted over there. Jeffrey almost too big and too strong.
Absolutely right. Here they go with the 14 on the field here. Blake Chaffee. And they're set up to the left with Sumner and then Moran outside him, but they go short side instead.
Oh,
and the posts are wobbling like we're not in Kansas anymore, Toto. Dear, oh dear. That was a very heavy hit. Now Gallen spilt the ball.
Gone again.
It's come out. They've scored, but they won't give this, surely to heaven. I'd love to see a goal kicker try and take this. The posts are going from 5 metres to the left to 5 metres to the right.
Yeah.
It's a moving target at the moment.
I tell you what, whoever built these goalposts, structural integrity, tick. They were
Absolutely.
terrific. I thought they were going to go down there. Two big heavy hits. But can we just say how thankful I think most rugby league players are now that there are
Post pads. Absolutely.
Geez, both guys. I think Blake Gallen and Chris Hyde hit them quite hard just then.
Absolutely right. They're wobbling about like 2-minute noodles. I don't know if 2-minute noodles wobble that often, but you get my point. As Kurri bring the ball away. And they've survived again here. They've had a few scares in this first half. Macquarie have had a lot of ball up the Kurri end of the field, and they haven't been able to do a lot with it, only the 6 points, as we're inside the last 10 minutes of this first half. And there's a break or a half break there from Kyle Smith. We've said he's got strength and speed. Now he's worked over from Gallen. The crowd want a penalty, and it's going to be the bumper. He's onto the field in the 20. Justin Peterkin always provides a bit of entertainment, carts it up with vigour. And here's Cullen. And now Stevens, and they're starting to open them up here a bit. Stevens has gone 20 metres with that. Kurri is starting to slice Macquarie open here. Danger, danger, danger for the Macquarie side. Now here's Abraham, and the ball's gone forward over there. The mystery man in number 14. There was no 14 named in the program. This could be anyone out there.
Well, whoever it was, big tackle from Mitch Manson on
I
him.
think we'll have to clarify that at half time because I've got a team here with no 14 listed. But anyway, maybe he's wearing a replacement jumper. I don't know. But anyhow, we'll work that out. We might speak to one of the Kurri people about that in a few minutes. As they bring it forward, that looks like Blake Chaffee, who is wearing the 14 for the other side. And they're coming forward now, up to the 40. A few mistakes into the game, a few missed tackles and little half breaks and things. It's been a pretty entertaining fare so far.
Yeah, 33 minutes already gone. It's been a pretty quick half. I wouldn't say it's been the most clinical football. It's been a lot of drop balls, a lot of penalties, but entertaining nonetheless.
Yeah, that's right. Simon Allen's got the ball over there and he's still running with it. Refuses to be tackled. Now they go right. Hyde, he's going to jam this in. Now Moran's doing the chasing. The bounce of the ball's important. And in the bounce of the ball confounded Bradley Mountain there. It just skimmed a little bit low, like Shane Warne's flipper, and come off his pads, LBW. And Macquarie are going to get the ball back here in very good position again.
Yeah, Mickey Moran, they're really charging through. I think
Bit of a role reversal there. The hooker kicking for the halfback.
yeah, I think you'd really hear the footsteps coming. But big chance for Macquarie here. 6 minutes to go. I think if they can level it up here, they'd be happy with that because I don't think there's actually really been a clear-cut better side out of this first half. So if they can go in even, I think obviously be very happy the Macquarie coach, but also
Here they go. Here's Manson. He's going to slice them open and score. Very easy indeed. A bit of interplay there with Sumner, a bit of a wraparound, and Manson in the end just went past a missed tackle, ran 20 metres and scored in the corner. And Kurri, well, they've let one in. They've had a few sets in defence, but now they've got it. Kurri still lead 12-10, but the zigzag man, Thiessen Favielli's about to try and level it up.
Yeah, I said a bit too easy there for Macquarie, but a lot of quick guys out there. Manson and Sumner is a pretty nippy guy at 5'8", so I think once they got a bit of space, just strolled over Manson.
Yeah, that's right. Worrying for both sides, the amount of missed tackles, 20 or 10 metres out from the line. They won't be happy with that at all, neither coach, but Here he comes. Thiessen Favielli from the other side of the field. 5.5 minutes to go in the game, in the first half at least. There's a change here that looks very much Armour, who's coming off, trotting down dead ball line, and Mick Campton's poised on the touchline, so there could be another change here for Kurri. And there's a change for Macquarie as well. The 16's coming on in the form of Randall Briggs, and he's replacing the 14, Blake Chaffey. And the Kurri interchange card indicates that Harmer for Campton's their third change. So still both teams have got plenty in hand in this first half. As Favielli with the zigzag run-up puts it over.
Done.
Beautiful kicking today so far.
Yeah, it's been a kicking display so far.
Well, very entertaining fare so far. 12 all, 4.5 minutes to go. And there's a gentle hum around the ground. A hum of anticipation, I'd call it, because there's plenty left in this game. Now, Ryan Walker's last kick-off attempt headed for the Seagulls. This one's a bit better, and Sumner's going to take it. And they go the spread early here. And that's Khan Junker who's got the ball. And he's taken inside his 20. Now Randall Briggs, newly onto the field. So they're running through the changes, Macquarie, using all their replacements. Now the 17 again, that's Junker again, up to the 40. Very eager to get involved, it would seem. Bit of work in the tackle from Peterkin. Now here's Gallen. Goes wide and it's spilt. That was a risky pass. Allen let it go. And Daniel Abraham's going to bring it forward. It's thrust and parry so far, isn't it? One side spills the ball, the other one's ready to go straight away and try and attack them. So Peterkin gets up and plays it. And they go over to Campton. That's a good charge, still on the field, hasn't had a rest. Oh, yes, he has. He's just come back on. Never mind me.
CUC directing a bit of traffic here. Oh, I don't think...
hang on, what's happening here? Nothing major. CUC is in position behind there. Here he comes. What's he going to do? He steps back inside to Cullen. Cullen's got a bit of space and he copped one around the head. There'll be another penalty here.
I think that might be the case.
I think he might get more kicking practice here. He's worn one around the head. It's going to be Junker who's going to get the talking to. And Kurri get the penalty. But Wyborn says, let's have another attack. And Peterkin goes straight for the posts. Good charge and good to see them spurning the conservative option of the 2 points. Here's Campton. Out the back. Lovely ball. Walker puts it down.
Well, they might not be spurning it now. I think they'd be regretting not taking that too. But you would have to say it's probably the right call, the way they've been splitting open the Macquarie defence a few times this afternoon. But, again, missed opportunity, I think. To really nail home 16, 18 points to 12, a 6-point lead going into halftime. I think the Kurri coach would have been happy with that. But Macquarie could have a set here, and they've, again, as you've said, have busted both sides have busted each other's defence open up quite easily. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see Macquarie have another dip at the Kurri end. Yeah, plenty of enterprise in the game. They're chucking it about. I think Ryan Walker would have fancied himself to score if he'd held on to that pass. But the caravan rolls on, and here's Gallen. And I reckon you're right. They might throw another grenade over at them in the last 100 seconds that are left in this game. No, they won't. Junker's dropped the ball. So it's a bit of a mixed start to the game for Khan Junker. Two very strong runs. He's nearly taken someone's head off and dropped the ball. So I did say he was keen to be involved. Here's Daniel Abraham with it. And so Kurri can try and thrust again. And they're lined up well to the left and to the right here. Plenty of depth about them in attack. And now here's the mystery man in 14. The wild card, as I'm calling him. We're going to find out at half-time who he is, so we don't have to keep calling him that. Ref pulling it back for the walking off the mark. Walking off the mark. Yes, it's a nod to pedantry. Here's CUCU out the back. Walker going himself. He does like to run the ball, Walker, and has scored the odd try doing that this season. Now Manton's in at dummy half. CUCU. And now Peterkin. They wanted to call it forward, and the linesman agreed with them. So yeah, I'm not sure about that one. I think there's been a few before from CUCU that have looked a bit more forward than that. But again, another missed opportunity. It's last sort of 5 minutes or so has really sort of descended into errors from both sides, but not off playing conservative football. They're both sides still looking to chuck it around, which is why probably the 40 minutes have gone so quickly, and it has been such an entertaining game so far.
Yeah, that's right. So it looks like, and I don't mean to prejudice this, but it looks like the first half's just going to peter out here with 15 seconds to go. See, but I shouldn't have, because Chris Hyde's put a kick in and Royce Jeffrey's on the chase, and so's Manson, but he absolutely crunched Bradley Manton. But that's about as bad as it got for Kurri. Now they'll pick it up and have another go. It's that sort of game. It's got a bit frantic in the last few minutes. Lachlan Hill's going to have the last touch of the first half, and that will be about it. 12-all will be the score at half-time. Highly entertaining and only getting more so as the half went on. Both sides have got a bit of work to do. They've both dropped it more often than they'd like. They've both missed more tackles than they would have liked, but they've come out about square. 12-all at half-time. We'll be back in a few moments to bring in the second half.
Here's your story, let's begin. The water's fine, come on, dive in. The future's here, it's right before your eyes. Step by step, you're on your way. Welcome to a brighter day. Don't you know it feels good to be alive? You could be larger than life, bigger than the world, living out the hopes and dreams of every boy and every girl. You could fly higher than the sky, shine brighter than the stars. You could have all you ever wanted, shoot the moon and reach for Mars. You know you could.
While some may only see a team of 13 players, we see a whole lot more. A club is only as strong as the sum of all its parts. It's the people. Win, lose or draw. Run, hail or shine. We're proud to raise a Tui's to everyone that makes up our team. For the players, the legends, and the legacies that live on. For the ones who lead the team song, week in, week out. For the trainers who don't just toughen the body, but the mind as well. For the fanatics whose team colours define who they are. And for those who make sure the little things get done. We know a lot of people make up a winning team, working together as one. We're proud to recognise the characters that make up our team. United as one, we raise a new with you.
Well, welcome back to Lowell Peacock Oval, and we're here for the second half of this game in Kurri. We're still playing round 3, and it's 12-all at half-time. A very entertaining half. Matthew Peterson, happy with the standard in the first half?
Oh, look, I think both sides would like to hold on to the ball a bit more, and a few penalties started to creep in that late in that first half. But overall, the standard has been quite good, and both sides really willing to attack and throw the ball about. So I'm expecting the same in this second half.
Now, you know there's nothing I like more than solving a mystery. And I've had the people from CSI on the case in conjunction with Inspector Clouseau, and it's become clear that the number 14, the mystery man, is Damien Walters. So there you go. Mystery solved. I won't have to keep calling him that now.
Done. Solved.
Another one. Another case closed. And so Kurri are bringing the ball back to start the second half. If one of these sides can hang on to it, they'll win, you'd have to say. If one of them can hang on to their tackles, they'll win. And here's Ryan Walker. He gives it away to Campton. And he takes a couple with him, as he generally does. Still another sackle up their sleeve here as CU plants this. He's turned the fullback around there. And it's going to go over towards Matt Hay, who's going to have to pick it up. And he brings it back. He's certainly fighting with him there. It's taken 3 to get him down. And Macquarie start their first set of the second half. Favielli now, he hasn't had many chances to run so far in this game, but he made good metres there. And now that looks like Simon Allen coming forward. And down on the halfway line as Randall Briggs goes down under a tackle. That was pretty solid. Hyde now looking for the kick. He's pretty crafty, Chris Hyde, and he's put this one very nicely into the in-goal. And if it stops, there's going to be a problem for Bradley Manton, and that's exactly what happens. But he does get out, and he gets past a couple as well. And so he's going to start the set about 3 metres out from their own line, 2 metres. Finally, he goes down.
Yeah,
He lost that, hang on. He lost it. Dear, oh dear. He ended up, he looked like he was trying to play the ball back rugby union style into the ruck, you know. He turned around and put it over his head and then had to pick it up again and hope the ref didn't notice. But he did. And Macquarie are going to start the second half with a scrum 10 metres out.
On the back of a fantastic kick from Chris Hyde, who at a dummy half has done a few really terrific kicks of turning the back three around for Kurri. But I think Kurri, where they're going to win the game is, I think, through their forwards. I think Harmer, and Harmer has been absolutely terrific, and I think more of him through that middle with Terrence Siusia and Walker playing off the back of that.
Well, straight away off the scrum, Macquarie are in action here. Favielli it was, and they're set up deep here. They defended well in the first half on their line, Kurri, only letting in 2 tries. But as here's Randall Briggs coming forward. Who have they got? They've got Sumner deep behind the ruck, but they go to Gallen, back to Sumner. Out the back now, here to Cantor. Cantor's got plenty of room, and he scored, I think. He has. He scores. He just slid over from about 5 metres out on the dewy ground, and he's got the ball down, and Macquarie start the second half with a try.
Yeah, I don't think he would have barged over down the other end where the sun's been on the ground all day. But now that shadow in that bottom corner really just sort of glided over and made it quite easy. But first blood, and again done quite easy. Just a bit of space out on these edges is where Macquarie, I think, is quite dangerous with the likes of Sumner, who, as I've said before, is quite a nippy player and gets about the park.
Matthew Peterson providing the special comments today, expert rugby league commentator and botanist. It's good to have such expertise on board. He's got the ball ready to take. He's brave, putting that water on his head in this weather. The shield is well and truly on the way. And he's just wet his head with about half a litre of water. But anyway, to each their own. Now the 4th interchange is about to happen here.
I think it might have happened. I think he, whoever that is, who's just ducked behind the Lyle Peacock bunker, as I'm calling it.
Yep, it's the 3, I reckon, or the 2. No, the 3. I was right the first time. I should have stuck with it. It's Tim Bennett who's had to come off the field.
Yeah, it looks a bit ginger.
He's very heavily strapped on his right thigh as the kick goes over from Favielli after a zigzag. 18-12, Macquarie lead it. 4 minutes into the second half. Yeah, Tim Bennett's taking a seat in what you're calling the Lyle Peacock commemorative bunker down there. He's not even on the bench, so he's going to get some treatment, you'd imagine. I'll try and pick up who's come onto the field to replace him. It looks like it might be Luke Mercer, who's in the 16. He's in the ginger hair over there in the centres on the left-hand side of the field with Lachlan Hill. As Kurri kick off again. And they can start again, and again they're fizzing passes across the front of the goal line. Dear, oh dear. Very brave off the kick-off. We did see them do this against Cessnock a few weeks ago where their exuberance just couldn't be tempered. They just wanted to chuck it around regardless of the circumstances. Even 10 metres out from their own line. And that's Randall Briggs. He plays it to Hyde. Gallen. Carting it up. Just do the same thing all day. North-south, north-south. Bit of niggle in there again. And that's Cantor getting involved. He's just scored a try. Had a couple of touches already in this set. And Hyde's going to kick. Why change a winning formula? And this is another beauty. Right into the corner. Give them the ball where you want them to have it. But Manton's away here. Up down the touchline. Hyde's going to have to tackle off his own kick, and he hasn't. And now Manton's passed another one, and he's finally grasped over there by his opposite number on the halfway line.
Yeah, near on the perfect kick there from Hyde in the corner. Had him exactly where they want him, but terrific work there from the Kurri fullback.
Yeah, that's right. Ryan Walker's taken the ball forward. Now here's Cullen. And Abraham came off the bench today. He's been the star of this Kurri side for a fair while now. He's played a good few years of service to Kurri. And now here's CUCU. Inside to Campton. And he's bumped up high there by Briggs. That's Isaac Briggs, who just bumped Campton down when he was standing up prone. Wyborn away to CUCU. Now to Abraham. He spins into the tackle. Lovely hands. Better hands from Cullen. Even better from Walters. And there's a try coming over there. Is there? No. Lachlan Hill dragged into touch. 2 metres short of the line, but goodness me, there were some hands from first from Abraham, then from Cullen. And it all just came apart at the end. They ran out of space on the right-hand side.
Some ball work that you expect to see from the outside backs or your halves, but not from your lock forward and your edge forward. Abraham and Cullen, they went from strength to strength. I didn't think anybody could outdo Abraham's ball, but then Cullen made a pretty good shot at it.
And scooped it up with one hand and kept going.
And as I said before, it's these forwards now. They need to have a little bit about them. They need to be able to chuck the ball about when required. And this Kurri side certainly has it. And I think Macquarie with Allen and Gallen certainly have it as well.
Yes, it's a 66% rhyming back row here for Macquarie. A new innovation in the Newcastle Rugby League. One of the many little changes that are happening. Of course, the news through the week that the grand final is going to be played at Hunter Stadium this year rather than number 1 sports ground. And if either of these sides want to be there, they need to start winning. And today's a big day. Now that's the scruffy hair of Khan Junker bringing the ball forward. And Sumner gets it inside. Now here's, I think that's the 12, Simon Allen, taking it forward. It's a penalty, whoever it was. A bit too much work in the tackle again. There's been a bit of that today. There's been a lot of work in the tackle. Not all of it's been penalised. As Hyde slams this into touch, and they can build again here, Macquarie. A fellow walking around the ground just copped the ball in the back of his chinos. No damage done.
That's why I always watch the game.
Yeah, it's also why you don't wear chinos on a muddy day. I mean, yeah, exactly. Matthew's gone them. He's gone the tan. As here's Blake Gallen. And they're looking right here. And it's building up, and there's plenty of cutout runners here. And Moran throws a lovely ball, and it's Briggs who's going to score. He hasn't put it down yet, but he has now. If it was a video ref, they'd check the grounding just to be sure, but they're not going to. It's a try to Isaac Briggs. Lovely bit of hands there from Mick Moran, but you'd have to say, so many runners coming through on the angle, the defenders had too many decisions to make.
Yeah, Briggs has been good since he's come in. He's really added a little bit of punch to the back row. He's not the biggest second rower running bad on both sides, but really has really added a lot of impact for Macquarie today.
Yeah, if it looks like there's 2 of him, there is. There's 15 Isaac Briggs and 16 Randall Briggs, and they're playing on opposite sides of the field at the moment, but they've both done a bit of damage already in this game. And Isaac, in the 15, has just gone over for the try. But that was a good spark, good quick attack from Macquarie, with plenty of players running. And when you make the defenders pick and make decisions, there's every chance they'll make the wrong one eventually. And all of a sudden, from being 12-6 down with a couple of minutes to the half, they've opened up a bit of a lead.
Perhaps these first 10 minutes of the second half, that either side's really dominated at any great length, but certainly Macquarie looking had the better running behind their legs. I don't know how Kurri are really going to get back into this. They haven't been able to hang on to the ball in this second half, and really have gifted Macquarie a few good chances, I should say, down their own end. So I think main thing is just let's try and build a little bit of pressure against Macquarie today.
You know that Tim Finn or that split end song, "History Never Repeats"? It's rubbish. Last week or a fortnight ago, Kurri let in 2 tries to start the second half. And sure enough, here we are again. History repeating.
Yeah, it is a rubbish song.
Oh, I don't have any objection to the song itself. It's just the message is being proved wrong in front of our eyes. So Kurri will kick off. Ryan Walker. He's getting a bit of practice at this. 4 tries they've let in now, Kurri. And sure enough, Sumner goes the spread off the kick-off. And Mitch Manson, with a great deal of bravery and valour, takes it up into the wanting shoulder of Justin Peterkin and Mick Campton. Very brave indeed. And they're rolling forward again here, Macquarie. They got the chance to kick away now. Out the back, that had to be forward off someone. I think it was Sumner's pass, which was forward into the possible head of Simon Allen. I reckon we had a half falcon there, Matthew.
Yeah, I think we might need a replay on that, but certainly still testing their arm, Macquarie here, and I think it's been the feature of their game all season. They certainly don't try and consolidate leads. They just play the football that they're accustomed to, and it's their strength. And yeah, I think that's an example there of just perhaps forcing it too much. Yeah, I think it might have been knocked on and a forward pass.
Yeah, I think that's right. There's something to be said for playing the situation of the game, isn't there? And maybe just as here's Ryan Walker, maybe just a gentle set there, take it up, kick into the corner might have been better. But away they come. There's not much they can do about it now. They'll hurt if they score here. And Jay Stevens has got the ball 20 out, just to the left of the posts. Here's CU. Out the back to Cullen. It's the same side again. Here's Abraham. And he's trampling over them out there. He's got to within a few metres. CU's over to the right. They're looking for him. They've got Walters. He goes short to Walters. Good tackle. Very good tackle. Wyborn's in a dummy half. He might go himself. He doesn't. CU across there to Walker. Walker out the back there to Manton. Manton away there. And it's the 16 on the field. He goes down under the tackle there, Luke Mercer. In the dummy half is Smith. Out there to Walker. It's all a little bit slow. The grubber comes through. It's off legs. It'll fall for Macquarie. Macquarie can set up again. And Blake Gallen lumbers out of dummy half. And suddenly there's some quick play the balls here. It's been a pretty quick game, hasn't it? Favielli bringing it away now.
Yeah, it's been a feature of the Macquarie play when they've really shifted it out wide. Moran and Sumner, both pretty nippy players.
There'll be a bit of disappointment for Kurri there. They looked like they were setting something up nicely, but it all just slowed down a little bit. And the kick found legs.
Yeah, they were really deep, stretching out right back to the 30-metre line here when they're on the 10. But just, I think, a few bad passes early on, and it just killed that momentum that they had set up for that big play.
So Lachlan Hill's traipsing across to get this, and he's got it. And brings it back with a bit of pace too, and a bit of a step. And he's 25 out centre field as he's brought down. A few slow forwards getting back as the 10's into the action for Kurri. Looks like Brock Gilmore. He didn't have too long a break. And the bumper has been withdrawn. It gives the number 5 interchange card to the interchange official. And Kurri have 6 to go here. Here's Gilmore, holds onto it. Only just. And they're looking right again with Wyborn. Abraham wants the ball. He gets it on the inside. They set up to the left. Here's Wyborn again. CU's met very fiercely there by Sumner and Briggs. And they twist him around there. Now Wyborn out the back to Walker. He's dummying and throws a lovely pass to Jay Stevens. And he's got support from Manton. And Kurri are going to score onto the posts with a bit of a duck dive thrown in for good measure. That looked like the rugby union, the Super 15. But Manton scores under the post for Kurri. And they're back into it 22-16.
Yeah, again, Macquarie would be disappointed with that. Just split them open a bit too easy, which has happened for most of their tries they led in today. There wasn't a lot of... There wasn't the overlap, or there wasn't a lot of craft, but a really smart ball back inside, and just too quick.
Yeah, much like CU did earlier in the game. Ryan Walker there, he just held it up and held it up and held it up and finally gave the ball just at the right time for Manton to bust them open. For Stevens, pardon me, to bust them open, to give it to Manton.
But I think any try that scored from 30, 40 metres out, you're going to be very disappointed with your defensive line that you couldn't shut that down and at least get the fullback to make a tackle on that last man.
Yeah, that's right. Well, they've done what they couldn't do a fortnight ago, Kurri. They've scored in the second half. They were kept scoreless from about the 30th minute against Cessnock in that derby loss. As here's Cullen. And with all the style and class in the world, plonks the ball over the posts. 22-18. No vehicles have been damaged so far.
Well, funny you say that. My car was parked directly behind that, but thankfully they've erected quite a good fence to save all those cars on the street.
I'm parked over there near the club. I think you'd need Pat Richards to hit my car.
Or David Warner.
Yeah, possibly. So away they go. The kick's launched high there by Randall Briggs. And Kurri can start again with Mick Campton. He's just always keen to get involved. That was a good run. And there's a bit of work in the tackle. Referee's getting involved here. This might be a stink. Royce Jeffrey, he's been involved in one today already. And now there's a bit of push and shove. And it's still going on. Play goes on. Jeffrey's pointing and saying, yeah, have another run. Give me another go at you. Now they're offside, and Kurri fans love it. They were bellowing for that penalty.
I think justifiably so. There was a very, very short 10 there for a few tackles. But it gives them a chance to go back-to-back here, which would be the... Oh, and we've got a Falcon.
Hello.
We've had a Falcon.
We've got a Falcon in the crowd. The fellow with his hat on backwards next to the
chinos.
Yeah, in the chinos, next to the wheelie bin. He's copped one on the melon. Off the back of the head and onto the field. It had a bit of force behind it too to get all the way back onto the field from there.
And that's what gets the punters involved.
So you've got to watch the game at all times. Something like that, you turn your back for a second, next minute you're a Falcon candidate. And Kurri now with Walker. Looks inside, here's Campton. Good trampling run there, he left one behind. Briggs just got enough of him. Now Briggs is in no man's land there at marker, but they carry on. And they're up the centre of the field here. I think that's Gilmore, is it? No. It was Wyborn. Now here's CU. And he's looking for Abraham again, but he goes himself. And he's down over there. Last tackle for Kurri. What can they come up with here? Wyborn away to Walker. He goes to the here. We haven't seen a bomb today. And Kyle Smith's going to contest this. He's done all right. Walker's got it back. Still last tackle. They'll score out here for sure with Luke Mercer. Twists and turns and gets it down. He got it down all right. I thought I'd put the Johnny on him. I thought I'd put the mocker on, but Luke Mercer twisted and got his way down to score the try, and it's all square at 22 all.
Well, it's the danger with not going up with the bomb. We've seen a lot of sides do this, of not trying to contest it and just trying to hit the man when he comes down. No one even looked like contesting that for Macquarie, and gave the winger out there for Kurri a free shot at it, and pretty lucky bounce, you'd have to say, straight into the arms, but good work there from Mercer. Really twisted and turned and just managed to get over there. I thought for a while there he just was in such an awkward body position that he might be held up on the Macquarie defence, but was too good in the end.
Well, I did say I don't think we'd seen a bomb all day. I think we might see another one after that, at least from Kurri. But the twists and turns in this game. Macquarie came out after half-time and put 2 quick tries on, and now just as quickly as they got a bit of a lead, Kurri have reeled them in. And if the new super boot, the new Hazem El Masri of the real NRL, Mitch Cullen, can land this kick, they'll be in front again. Mick Campton's coming up the tunnel, incidentally, and looking a little bit wobbly. Well, he's a little bit average on one of his legs there. As here comes Cullen, and he's missed it.
First for the day.
There you go.
And can I just say the bit of crowd participation over on the far side there from a few of the Macquarie fans, that I don't know if that is more empirical evidence of the of crowd interaction and
we have
and
discussed
missed
this.
goals.
We have discussed this before, whether it actually people giving it the big end of the goal kicker makes a difference. I think some of them might have utilised their vehicles there and gone for a bit of a honk on the horn as the kicker was running in, and I reckon that would put you off. Now here's Abraham, and he's had to smother this AFL style before giving it to Brock Harmer. And Harmer brings it up. I noticed the 4 o'clock chill must be in because there's a lady on the touchline who's gone for the red, white and blue crochet blanket. Yeah, and two of the Kurri bench players have got the blankets draped over their shoulders. So the 4 o'clock chill is in, as expected. And here goes Jay Stevens.
And I think the Kurri bench might be a bit depleted here with the 2 guys going off. It look to be the 2 guys on there draped in the said blanket and a few of the trainers. But so they might be down to just the 2 interchanges for the last quarter of the match.
Yeah, that's right. here's Brock Harmer. He's one of those interchange players, and he looked to get that pass away. There was a hint of suspicion that he might have knocked the ball on there, but they play on. And now here's Walker, who's going Wyborn, pardon me, is going to kick this long, and it'll pitch directly in between the fullback, the two wingers, and Manton will be the one that picks it up. Or Manson, pardon me. There's Mantons and Mansons and Cantors and all kinds of things.
You preferred it when it was unknown.
When the mystery man was out there, well, at least he was easy to pick. Who's that bloke? Well, I don't know. Oh, well, he must be the mystery man. But I was about to mention, you mentioned about Kurri being down a couple on the bench. Tyg Petherbridge in the 17 hasn't been used yet with 62 minutes gone in the game. So he might be someone who they can bring on with fresh legs in the last few minutes. He's, as an aside, as there's a hint of a forward pass there from Blake Gallant, Tyg Petherbridge is the brother of a great friend of Bar TV and an occasional commentary co-commentator Matt Petherbridge. As the kick goes down into the corner. And it's going to be Manton who picks it up. And they're a bit slow back. There's a few people for Kurri just making their way back pretty gently. Lachlan Hill isn't. He's busted into a tackle. 18 minutes to go here, all square. I reckon we've got another cracker finish lined up here, Matt. We can pick them.
Oh, we certainly try at least anyway. But it definitely is shaping up like that.
Speak of the devil, and he shall appear. Tyg Petherbridge is warming up down on the touchline. He's thrown the blanket away. I think he's actually dropped it in the water that's forming in the drain down there. But nonetheless, he's ready for action here in the 17 jumper. He usually plays reserve grade for Kurri. And now the boots cards come off there from CU. And now Cullen, and anything can happen here. The kick goes down. And Hyde had to reach out and grab that. And now they can counter-attack. And there's a bit of rugby union about all of this. And Chris Hyde eventually ends up over the halfway. And so Macquarie, it's their turn to have a crack at them. And the ball goes to ground. Knocked back, they say. Here's Schmiedel with the ball. Looking to pass, and does. Moran. There's plenty of action here. Here now, here's Matt Hay. And he's passed a couple. Needs a big tackle. Doesn't get it. And he's as close as 10 metres out.
Yeah, fantastic. Run almost Jonah Lomu, the fullback there.
Absolutely. Now here's Moran. They've got them going here. Good pass inside. And it's the 10, Adam Swaddling back onto the field. He hasn't been on for a while. Out the back to Moran again. Now flat. Sumner. Dummy, great dummy. It's Jeffrey. They're going to score in the corner. What a finish! What a finish from Mitch Manson. He hasn't given it. The linesman on the near side hasn't given it. It looked all right to me. I'm not the one close down there who's paid to make the decision, though, so I couldn't say for sure. But Mitch Manson scored over there in the corner, and they've taken it off him. He went into orbit to get that ball down.
Yeah, very spectacular. What you'd see in the NRL, and I think that the Macquarie better switch back on here. There's a few guys having a few afters with the touch judge there, and almost left a big gaping hole out here on their right side defence.
Well, I can tell you that the centre and the winger would have needed a shuttle bus to get back on side from that first tap. But they're back now. And now Kurri have the chance to have a crack back at them. This is really seesawing now. Tyg Petherbridge, he's warmed up. He's back on the bench again, but ready for action. They're going to need this. They're going to need their bench today. Now here's Walker. Centre field, third tackle. Now Wyborn goes flat, and Manton, he's coming into the game. He's getting more and more involved, Bradley Manton. CUC lurking around on the left-hand side, down the short. Good ball inside to Walker. But they were working a very narrow corridor there. Last tackle. CUC, he's going to have to kick. Why not go the bomb again, he says. And up they go, and Mercer's contesting it, and it comes down for Smith, who picks it up and drops it. And the referee will give Macquarie, a penalty.
Yeah, it looked like he had grabbed hold of it, Hay, over there, but then just, I think, maybe a bit of a late contact from one of the Kurri runners coming through there. But I think that last set of 6 from Macquarie really epitomised the way they play. Zero tackle, chucking it about a bit. Mick Moran almost spills it on the zero tackle from a bit of enterprising play on the halfway line. But I think it's really indicative of the way they play the game, and they're certainly not going to try and consolidate a lead. And they're more than happy to chuck the ball around, and that's what needs to be done here.
It's a very, very open, entertaining game now. 15 minutes to go. Both sides will be tired. It's hard to get into any sort of rhythm of fitness this season because every time you get fit with 3 weeks in a row, you have a week off. So it's been difficult to get conditioned for these players. And that might show in the last 15 here. Now here they go to the left. Here's Jeffrey again. He tried to get through them last time. This time he pokes his head through. 25 out. And now Cantor. And the 15, that's the Briggs, the try scorer. Isaac Briggs. And Hyde, he goes the short again. Sumner's there, holds it up. Great ball to Cantor. And finally, there's a one-on-one tackle from Damien Walters. Sumner got a whack for his trouble. And I don't think he'll be participating in this last tackle. It goes away. It's shoveled out to Hyde, out to Moran. They've got numbers to the right. He's going to try the kick on. It'll be over towards Matt Hay. It's not a baddie either. It's a ripper. He put it on his chest from 20 yards out. And Macquarie are back in front.
Yeah, a lot of Adam Reynolds about that. Having the wheel right on the sideline and absolutely inch perfect kick there from Mick Moran. Couldn't ask for much better a kick from by a winger.
No, that's right. If you were the winger, yeah, no, I know what you meant. They probably could have just thrown that in the end. They had the numbers. They had about 4 on 2 out there, but Moran went the kick, and if you do that, you've got to get it right. And he got it right. So Macquarie find themselves in front again. And Hay was able to run the ball around a little bit as well to put it down.
And I think with 13 to go here, you really can't pick a winner. The game has just ebbed and flowed, and one side's been on top for a little bit, and then a bit of momentum shifts, and the other side comes back. It wouldn't surprise you the way this season for Kurri in the last 5 minutes.
Not at all. You've got to remember there was a 42-40 on this ground a fortnight ago. There's 2 things you can be sure of when you come to Lyle Peacock Oval. You get a ripper of a steak sandwich, and you generally get a very entertaining game as well. Some have said, and I'm inclined to agree with them, the best steaks in the real NRL. There you go. There's a gauntlet thrown down, Matthew.
It's a big statement.
No, I'm making it. I've just offended the other 7 clubs. I don't intend to, but I reckon...
Oh, it's one of those things you just say it every week. Just change your answer.
Yeah, that's right. It's like bands everywhere they go is the best place to tour. Yeah. Favielli's missed the goal, so 26-22. The other great thing about the steaks here, Matt, is that you can watch them being cooked. It's all very interactive. The barbecue's right next to it's next to where you order. So you can observe your lunch being prepared. So Walker's going to kick off here. Kurri looking a bit stagnant and tired here at 26-22. But the game has ebbed and flowed and undulated beautifully all afternoon. And with 12 minutes to go, or 11 and a half minutes to go, either side could still grab the points here. And both sides need to. Blake Gallen's got the ball. As ever, he's put in a terrific shift today. Swaddling, good run. Now Favielli hasn't been as involved in the centres today, but he is now, and he gives it away to Hay. And they're up over the half, and Hay's beat one there. And 40 out. They've still got a couple of tackles to go here. And Schmiedel. And they've got numbers out to the right again. And now they're setting deep to the left. Hyde. Away to Moran, and Moran's going to go to the field goal for a 5-point lead. He missed. Well, he doesn't have a lot of faith in Mitch Cullen if he's happy with 5.
Yeah, very.
Doesn't rate him as a kicker.
Almost reeks of Aiden Caesar a couple of weeks ago, I think, dropping the field goal for a 5-point lead.
Well, of course, against the Tigers at Leichhardt, that's right. The classic, of course, of all time was Terry Lamb kicking a field goal to go 1 behind against the Knights about 20 years ago.
But a different code. I think Matt Dunn did. One of the Waratahs ones dropped a field goal.
Well, I think in that case they needed another try to get a bonus point or something, and he decided to put the field goal over. Anyhow, that's what happens when you let props have the ball, I suppose. Rugby props, that is. As here's Daniel Abraham, centre field. And there's the 15, Brock Harmer. Carting it forward.
Big
he might have spilt that, hasn't he? No, he's got it. Yeah, Gowan's still wrestling with him. And he's decided to take his clothes off. Harmer finally plays it. So you see here, they're working the centre, and here's Manton again. He's got a good turn of pace, and he's got support. It might have been a forward pass, but here's Wyborn. Centre field, they've got them both left and right. Numbers both ways. CU out to Abraham. Abraham's got Walters. He's got some more as well, but he decides to take it himself. Now Walters, CU. They probably need one here, Kurri. It's over the back. It's still with Kurri. It finally comes up with Blake Gowan. And the referee is going to say something here, heaven knows what.
I think he's going to say...
A Kurri penalty for offside, in fact. Well,
very late call. He certainly took his time in deciding that. I thought it potentially could have been a Sumner knock-on, I think. But I wasn't expecting a penalty.
So here's Brock Harmer, and he's taken a little bit high there and turned to ground. He's a bit crook after that too, but he finally gets up. Now Cullen. Cullen goes himself. He's pretty strong. And he headed towards the goalpost that have had a bit of punishment today. Now they're set deep to both the left and right. They go right. CU. Steps back inside. Oh! Straight Walker, who wasn't looking. And it was nearly a bulk, and they were lucky to get away with it. Now it's broken up. Walker, they might get something out of this, Kurri. And finally he goes to ground. They've lost about 15 metres on that play, simply because Walker and CU weren't talking to each other. Now here he goes, CU again. Back to Stevens. They're back inside the 20. And now CU. They're very deep again. Manton, one-on-one. Great tackle from Isaac Briggs. Absolute ripper. And last tackle, they haven't done a lot with this set. CU's in there again. He's going to go to the air. It's towards the goal posts. Moran's under there. Sumner's there as well, and he takes it very well. The bomb is well and truly back in.
Well, we said it. We warned the crowd about always keeping your eye on the ball, and I think Ryan Walker there would be wishing he did as well, because he's just cost his side 20, 25 metres.
Yeah, absolutely right. That was where it all broke down. They were building all right. They had the forwards going. Suddenly it all broke apart. Time is a ticking. 7 minutes and 25 seconds here. And Macquarie bringing it away. As Isaac Briggs comes from the field to a round of applause from his bench teammates. And that's the 8th change Macquarie have made today. So they've still got a couple in hand with 7 minutes to go. It's pretty good conditioning for these players when you think about it. This Hyde kicks long. No threat of a 40-20 here, but it's a good kick. It's a beauty. It's going to go into touch 10 metres out from the Macquarie line. There's a bit of work to do for Kurri here.
It's almost been the difference for Macquarie here. Chris Hyde's kicking game, I think, as well, Sumner's on the left hand. With those kicks in behind the back three.
He's done a lot of good work, Hyde. Been very busy for the ball.
And obviously filling into a position very hard with Chris Adams obviously going over to Lakes. Sorry, Chris Adams played for Cessnock there. I've been mixed up. I'm mixing up my Chris's there.
I'm sure there was a sense of loss felt across the league, Matthew.
Yeah, I'm sure. I bet you wish Macquarie had Adams and Chris Hyde, because Chris Hyde have a pretty formidable dummy half duo there. But he's been terrific, Chris Hyde, today, and it has been all season.
So Kurri have got to come up with something here. They've got 6 minutes in which to do it. And these are the games that at the end of the year you look at and you think, well, we could have won that one. 2 points we could have had. And Harmer's got the ball. It's going into touch. And so it's going to be a scrum here to Macquarie, as we experience a few minor battery-related technical difficulties up here in the up here on the staircase in the grandstand. Macquarie is set up. There's a big shot there on Sumner. And now Jeffrey, and plays it there to Manson. And they're working towards them again here, Macquarie. If they put a try on here, it'll be Curtin coming down. Hyde. Away to Moran. Moran inside. Smeedle. And now a good charge from the one. Cantor, and he's past one. He's not far away. They're going to score and win the game, Macquarie. The noodles are wobbling. Chris Hyde goes over next to the posts. And the posts are wobbling about. 30 points to 22 with a kick to come. (30-22). And it all came about from a bit of evasion there from Cantor and a bit of speed. And then he had the presence of mind to turn it inside to Chris Hyde backing up. And that might be the curtain coming down for Kurri.
Yeah, and I think Chris Hyde, that could, I think, pretty much shore up the Man of the Match award for him. I think he's been absolutely terrific today. He's really been a force out of dummy half. His kicking game's been very astute and has turned the back three around for Kurri all day and has really pinned them into the corner. And obviously I think that try will pretty much give him the 3 points.
Isn't the duck dive back into fashion as a try-scoring routine?
Well, I think it depends on conditions a lot. I think with the rain, it's just maybe potentially, this is my botany experience coming out again, maybe just soften up the ground to allow this, but you certainly want to do it at, let's say, Townsend Oval.
On the cricket pitch.
On the cricket pitch, yeah. I don't know why you do it
in the middle of the drought.
Of the field.
Well, here's Favielli. He's only missed the one kick today, and that one's gone over sure enough. And there's a bit of a scavenge on around the gum trees behind the goal line. 3 minutes to go, 32 points to 22 here, Macquarie. They look like they might be going away with it. I think we're getting into silly season now. Kurri might have to launch the beloved short kickoff.
Yeah, I think it might be. But the way the season's gone, you can just not write off Kurri. Each side is capable of it. We've seen it in a few games. So don't be surprised if they can get the ball back here.
Here it comes.
Put 6 on.
I love the short kickoff. Ooh. And Cantor's just nearly lost his head. There's been a few attempted decapitations today. And Cantor looks a bit sore after that one. A bit accidental. I mean, he did fall into it. Now there's a bit of stench. And the referee calls a halt. Cantor's going to get some help here because that was a pretty nasty whack on the back of the head.
Yeah, there's been a few attempts, but thankfully nobody's succeeded in taking someone's head off yet. But yeah, you're right, ducking into it, but I think pretty careless there from I think it was the 15 for Kurri.
And that might be the end of things for the moment for Kurri, or for today at least. They're going to go into the second half of the season on 2 competition points. Their only win of the year so far was against Maitland. And this is a game which they may feel at the end of the year they could have won. And here's Schmiedel. Oh, now he's doing a bit of hello chick stuff out there. He's just throwing a bit of Benji. Threw the ball to himself. It was actually underarm. That was all very nice. And now here's the big 10. That's Jeffrey. That's Matt Jeffrey. Sorry, no, it's not. It's Swaddling. Pardon me. I've started putting into Swaddling as well, even though it's not there.
You can't help it.
No, I can't help it. Now they go. And the big 12 there, Simon Allen. And they might be able to really sink the slipper into them here. Just Hyde, back to Sumner. Inside to Jeffrey. He juggled and held it. Bit of attention from Cullen. Now Gallen. Ball on the ground. And it's Schmiedel. Lovely ball over the top. If it's not forward, it is forward. Yeah, I thought it might be. Matt Hay took it cleanly enough. But, yeah, just floated forward. And Kurri are going to get the ball back here with about 65 seconds in which to make use of it.
Yeah, I think Macquarie would be very happy with that, especially having missed Denny Vaughan over the last couple of weeks, who's the pillar in their very large forward pack with Allen and Gallen and the likes of those. But certainly any points they can get while he's away are going to be crucial in the back end of the season if and when he comes back.
Yeah, the little margins of things, you know. If they'd knocked over Maitland last week, Macquarie now would be on 8 points and really up there with the best teams. They're still in the 5 though. After this, they'll be on 6 points, which is handy enough for the first half of the season. As Allen there's dragged back. Sorry, not Allen. Smith dragged back there. A bit of shove. Oh, look out. There was a bit of vim and vigour in that one. Smith decided to shove a prop, which is never a good idea for a winger. And Swaddling retaliated, but nothing more came of it. Time's run out. That'll be about it. The last pieces of sand trickle out of the hourglass, and it's about time here. 32-22, Macquarie have beaten Kurri here in a very entertaining game, which up until about the last 5 minutes could have been won by anyone. But a highly entertaining piece of football indeed. And Matthew, I guess I'll get you to tell me why you think Macquarie got the chocolates and who you think's the man of the match.
Oh, look, it really ebbed and flowed. Kurri at the start came out of the gates absolutely sprinting, and I thought a bit of worry there for Macquarie. But look, I just think the kicking game of the likes of Sumner and Moran and Hyde really just turned them around and pinned them down into the corners, and they were just, I think in the end in that second half, were just able to hold on to the ball a bit better than Kurri did in the second half, and just took their opportunities a bit better than Kurri did. But I don't think it was a lot separating the side. I know there was 10 points difference on the scoreline, but it was a much closer game than that. But look, I've said it before, I think Chris Hyde is probably my man of the match. I thought he was very good out of dummy half with his astute kicks and his running game, and really directs traffic and gives the likes of Mick Moran and Andy Sumner a lot of space and room to really play a bit of ad-lib football and a bit of aggressive and attacking football.
Yeah, and that was the real story of the day. It was attacking football from both sides in the end. Macquarie were able to score 6 tries. Kurri were able to score 4. So highly attacking rugby league from both teams. Now the fixtures for next week, Macquarie will be back here to play the leaders. They'll be playing Lakes here next week. Kurri, well, they'll be at home to South Newcastle, and they're heading towards that time of the year where they need to start winning and winning pretty briskly. Macquarie, they've given themselves a bit more time with this win today. So 32-22, Macquarie get the chocolates today. Thank you very much, Matthew, for your company as always.
Oh, it's always a pleasure when it's such a lovely day and such a fantastic game of rugby league.
Yep, the 4 o'clock chill has become the 5 o'clock freeze, and that's about time for us to sign off. Morgan Campbell here with you, and this is Bar TV.
Australia's leading sports organisations have made a pledge to tackle youth binge drinking.
Now when you're watching your favourite sports, like football,
Swimming, basketball,
Netball,
and athletics,
you'll see this logo.
it's all about coming together to have a positive influence on our drinking culture.
We're strong enough to say enough.
2.
Back your judgment.
Stand up for what you believe in.
Be the influence.
Real guys, real sport. Bar TV.